Creating a blended learning course that students will be motivated to complete can be challenging. Costs, development time, and technical expertise are just the start. So what is it that makes a great online learning experience that really enhances vocational learning and engages students? Nine Lanterns are experts in online training and have collaborated with Pearson to create Go Online, a ready-made, blended learning resource.
Nine Lanterns' role in Go Online, we were brought into the project to help Pearson with all aspects of the online training, make sure that the content worked well for the audience, for the vet students. We helped them design the assessments, and my role is to help people create their online training to make sure that it achieves its learning outcomes, but also to make sure that the content is creative and engaging, and to make sure that it uses the media in the most appropriate way. And at the end of the day, that online training has to deliver real learning outcomes for students. So I'd be wanting to make sure that the content was well designed in terms of its interface, very easy to use. I'd be making sure that the assessment is appropriate for the students. I'd be making sure that the content is creative and engaging by using lots of different types of media to keep the students interested in the content. So I'd be using audio stories and video, interactive activities. I'd also be very focused on the type of language that's used in the online training. It should be very friendly, it should be very conversational, it shouldn't be over formal, and it should be pitched perfectly for the level of qualification that the student is trying to attain. And I think the key thing is that you need to simulate a real-world environment for those students, because they need to master real skills that they're going to use once they enter the workforce. So Go Online supports this by designing with vocational education in mind. It situates the content in the real world, and that gives the students a context for when they're actually going into the workplace. I'd also be looking for a course that addresses the competencies and their elements, and be making sure that the content is mapped very closely to those competencies to make sure that the students are going to be able to master the real skills that they need to obtain the qualification and then to work effectively in their chosen industry. So Go Online does this in a variety of ways. It uses real-life case studies to try and really engage the student, and it also uses audio stories of people who are experts in their fields. Go Online also motivates the student and encourages them to engage with the content by providing multiple levels of feedback throughout all the activities in the course, so that even if a learner is incorrect, they're given feedback and they have an opportunity to have another go. So essentially, Go Online is a practice ground for the student, gives them an opportunity to demonstrate their skills and to really have a go before they step out into the real world. So Go Online supports this by providing a range of structures within the online content to really support the students. So personalised, contextualised feedback for the student, whether they're correct or incorrect. A lot of hints and a lot of referrals to resources that the students can use to help them if they get stuck. Go Online has got an easy to use interface. The buttons are all placed in consistent ways so that the students can really focus on the content and not on the interface. Go Online supports this in a number of ways. So it tracks the time that a student has spent in the system so the teacher can access that information. The content can be integrated into the college learning management system so that the teacher has access to reports and information such as whether the students have completed modules and also whether they've completed tasks, as well as I said before, how much time they've actually spent in the system. It needs to support the ways that students approach online training. It also needs to be flexible for the educators in the way it supports their face-to-face training. And it should also support the flipped classroom approach, which is where the online self-paced study is used prior to any classroom work. So the online training needs to be very flexible for both the students and the teachers. And Go Online supports all of these things in the way that it provides very granular content, so 15 to 20 minute modules that the teacher can set for the student to work through at their own pace in their own time. For the vet student, it's really important that the online training is not just theory. You know, the students need to be able to take what's in the online training and then put it into practice in the real world. So the way that we do that is we create a simulated environment in the online training, and we give the students access to case studies and real life scenarios that they have to work through. The students have to make decisions about how they might act in different scenarios. So the online training is essentially a practice ground for the student, and it allows them to refer to the theory, but also to apply it within the online training and then take it out into the real world.
As a trainer, you can be confident that students completing a Go Online module don't just understand the theory, but can demonstrate its application in real life.